Hey Psych Thoughts fans, here we've spent some time talking about Carl Gustav Jung. Why don't we talk about one of his most major friends? Let's talk a little bit about Sigmund Freud. Man, if there ever was one of the most iconic people in psychology, it would have to be Freud. Even if you didn't know anything about psychology, or if you was ever on Jeopardy, you could pretty much guess one of the answers is going to be, who is Freud? Because he made a huge impact in the world of psychology and also a huge impact into our culture. But today I want to talk about a couple of things that you probably didn't really know about Freud. And we're going to talk a lot about his theories and different things as we proceed through this month. So why don't you join us here on Psych Thoughts today as we talk about Freud. Now, to say Freud was a unique character would be an understatement. He really was a very much an iconic figure in psychology. But there are some kind of strange facts and stuff around his whole life that I kind of want to talk about. First, let's just talk about his birth. It was rare, and it was also an anomaly. That's right. Freud was the first of 8 children that was born to Jacob and Amelia Freud. Okay. Now, when Freud was born in 1856, something unique happened. When he was born, he had a membrane known as a callus, covered his head and face. Okay. This is really unusual, and it doesn't happen very much. It's a very rare thing. It's also kind of harmless, and it's easily to be removed. It's kind of like a small kind of covering on a face. It happens just rarely. Well, Freud had one, and so they removed it after he was born. Now, the strange thing is that his mother was really happy about this. Because according to a lot of folklore and different things at the time, they believed if a child was born with such a thing, it pretty meant that the child was destined for great accomplishments. Kind of makes you kind of think a little bit. The other thing is that Freud loved to look about anatomy and physiology, and he was also interested in the neurological ideals also of the time. Freud spent a lot of his early education and work focusing on neurology. Yes. He studied the sexual organs of eels, and he also loved to dissect frogs and different types of invertebrates and examine and compare their brains. For 6 years, in fact, Freud dissected the brains of frogs, crayfish, and lampreys, describing the different areas of the brain and other components of the brain and the nervous system. It was made an important contribute towards the discovery of the neuron. He had his hands in everything. The man's a wonderkin. The other thing is that most people associate Freud with hypnosis. You're getting sleepy. Well, he kind of is, and he kind of is not. And his kind of thoughts about hypnosis led to the most iconic thing about his profession and his therapy. After he graduated from the University of Vienna, he began to work at the hospital, and he started working with a physician there by the name of Joseph Breuer. Breuer was treating patients via hypnosis. Okay? This really intrigued Freud, because he would notice, and during one of his examinations where he was working with a patient known as Anna O, he had to hypnotize her, and she seemed to be able to recall unpleasant memories when she was under the influence of hypnosis and suggestion. Freud thought this would be a great way to bring back things in the unconsciousness that people didn't want to discuss, or those unpleasant thoughts. And so he traveled to Paris, where he studied and learned how to use hypnosis and all this time. But when he returned back to Vienna in 1886, he opened up his own practice, and he began to step away from hypnosis at the beginning. The reason why is that he found out that you could get the same effect by having the patient simply relax on a couch. And we always get that where he always said, please lie down on this couch and tell me about your mother. And so he used the couch instead of hypnosis. And so it wasn't as much as we thought it was. These are just a few of the tidbits of information that we know about Freud. And as we go through, we're going to share a lot more, and maybe there'll be some things that you'll go, oh, I didn't know that. And there'll be some things that you'll go, oh, I knew that. I knew that. But we hope that it kind of brings you a little bit of interest and a little bit of excitement. As always, make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel. If you got a comment, please leave a comment down below. And if you want something to talk about in psychology, just put it in there and maybe I'll be able to find something out and talk about it. As always, thanks for watching. Hope that you like and subscribe. And remember that psychology is pretty much everywhere in every aspect of life. And I'll talk to you then. Bye.